This portion of New Day Northwest is sponsored by Virginia Mason.
Researchers estimate that up to 15 million Americans deal with food allergies, including about 6 million kids under the age of 18. Food allergy reactions can be very serious. They can even be deadly. But the good news is there is progress in research and new treatments. Joining us now are allergy and asthma specialist from Virginia Mason, Dr. David Jeong, and his patient, Isabelle Thomelin. Welcome to both of you. How you doing? So, doctor, let me talk with you first about what some of the more common food allergies are.
The most common food allergies these days are the big items: milk, egg, wheat. We're seeing certainly an increase in the prevalence of peanut and tree nut allergies as well.
And so what are the symptoms of these allergies?
Well, they can be ranging from minor to, as you mentioned, quite severe. People can have hives, they can have swelling of the skin and the lips and the tongue, they can have difficulties with breathing, GI symptoms like vomiting and diarrhea. And of course, the most severe manifestation could be anaphylaxis, where you have multiple symptoms occurring at the same time, or even an unsafe drop in the blood pressure.
Which is, you know, if you're thinking about little kids and that kind of thing, so frightening. Tell me about your allergy situation.
Well,
what were you allergic to?
I've been, for a long time, I've been allergic to all nuts, but before we did the trial on peanuts, cashews, and walnuts, we did a test for almonds, and I wasn't allergic to almonds, so that's good.
That's one thing. What were your symptoms? How did you find out you were allergic to the tree nuts?
Well, when I was like smaller, like a toddler, I think, we did a test because my parents had noticed that when I was having milk, I would have a little reaction. So we went.
What would happen to you?
I'm not really sure because I was really little, but
really tiny,
I would have like, I think a stomach ache or something like that.
So you probably went in for other testing to see what else you were allergic to, right?
Yeah, we tested for like all those, like really, all those that were common, and we found out that I was allergic to nuts, like all nuts and stuff.
Which is a drag because cashews are delicious, right? So there is an ongoing trial that we'll talk about in a minute, but she took part in an earlier trial, correct?
That's correct.
And what did you find out?
Well, the trial was really unique in several ways. It implemented the oral immunotherapy strategy, which is ingesting a known food allergen by mouth, gradually in increasing doses to allow the immune system to build up a bit of protection, what we call desensitization, which changes the threshold of your allergic reaction. What was unique about the trial that Isabelle went through is that we were able to initiate a biologic treatment called omalizumab, or the brand name is known as Xolair. It decreases the allergic antibodies in the immune system, which in theory will allow people to consume multiple foods and escalate the doses at a more rapid rate, making it safer for people. And the other unique aspect of the trial she went through is that she was being treated for multiple foods at the same time, which is really not an idea that's implemented widely in many of the clinical trials we see these days.
And was there promise? Were the results good?
Well, the results are not published yet, but certainly you know, what we were seeing is that children were able to desensitize to multiple foods and escalate to their maintenance doses at a more rapid rate than what we would see with other types of immunotherapy
So what
trials.
happened to you, Isabelle? Can you eat nuts?
Well, every night for the past year, almost a year I think, I've been eating, well, first we started off with powdered nuts, and we would increase the dose every 4 weeks, I think, so like almost every month. And I used to eat it in chocolate pudding.
Good choice.
A lot of chocolate pudding every night. So,
yes, that's tragic, isn't it? And so where are you now?
Now I eat a whole walnut, 6 peanuts, and 2 cashews every day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm really happy that I entered into this trial because now, before I couldn't eat anything that was manufactured or processed in a facility with nuts or peanuts.
Right.
So,
and that's hard to even figure out whether you're doing that or not doing that. Dr. Jeong, I know there are things that are going on now with an ongoing trial that's separate from hers. Give us just a brief wrap up, and then we're going to ask you more about it in our wellness panel later.
Sure,
but
yeah.
what's the basic?
Well, you know, the project that we're working on now, the trial we're working on now, involves a standardized peanut powdered capsule that is being produced by a pharmaceutical company. That product is currently in phase 3 clinical trials, which is the last trial to potential FDA approval. So we're midway through that, and results to be seen, but possibly some promise there. And there are a number of other modes of immunotherapy that are being studied, not only at our site, but in many other places around the world, that have some potential and some promise as well.
That's great. There's terrific hope, and a person should be able to eat a peanut. So let's hope that this works for everyone. We'll get more information from you a little bit later in the show. We'll also have resources on our website about the allergy registry and new immunotherapy trials taking place at Benaroya Research Institute. You can find out more on Virginia Mason's website. After the break, what to do if your personal information was stolen in that huge Equifax hack that happened last week. Tips from the Attorney General's office next.